intermediate level. So we have so far learnt about our nouns. We know what nouns are. And today, so if you look before, because we're on this page now, so it's, if you see number 6, so this is where we're starting from. And yeah, okay, so let's talk about nouns. We know what nouns are. We know that they are objects, they are things, they tell us, you know, what this is. So if this is a laptop, this is a phone, this is a room, this is a person. I mean, these are all nouns. But we have this thing called a countable and an uncountable noun. So what do they mean? We're going to talk about that in this lesson and look at, you know, going from a singular noun. So when you have one, for example, one book, to if you have many, so you put the S, you say books. So we're going to look at doing a singular to the plural, and then also looking at the definite article the. So this is where a lot of the time it's confusing to know when do you use the word the and when do you not use it? And then when do you use a and the word an? These are called articles and we put them before the noun. Okay, so that's what our lesson is on. So let's get started. We are here. Let's go through talking about countable and uncountable nouns. So as I said, when you have countable, it means that you can count it. Like you have one book, two books, 3 books, 4 books, 5 books. So you can see with the countable, they are things that can be counted. So if you always have one, you'll say a, because you always have to have an article before the noun. You can't just say book. I have book. You can't just say that. You have to say, I have a book, or I have 2 cars. I have 3 planes, you know? So that's how we talk about counting. And you can see when you have the plural, I know very simple rules, you add the S, okay, to make it the plural. But what about uncountable nouns? So these are words that cannot be counted. You can't say 1, 2, 3. So we know it's like milk, water, flour. You'll know because usually instead of saying like 2 or 3 or 4, you have to put a measurement in front of these words. So if I say milk, I say I want a liter of milk, or I want 2 liters of milk, or 3 liters of milk. So we have to put a measurement in front of the uncountable noun. So again, with flour, okay, we can't just say I want 2 flour, I want 3 flour. We have to put a measurement. So I want a kilo of flour. I want 3 kilos of flour, 4 kilos of flour. So all you have to remember is which nouns are countable and which are non-countable. And the easy way to remember is start with your uncountable. The very basic ones are water, milk, sugar, flour, butter, oil, wine, food. Just if you just remember these words, because these are the most common words that you're going to use, the most common uncountable nouns. Cheese, butter, yes. So you could see mostly ingredients. But there are non-ingredients uncountable nouns, like the word time. You don't say I have 2 time. You say, oh, I have a lot of time. I have so much time. You know, we never put a number in front of that word when we make it the plural. So yes, these are the words: bread, cheese, butter, information, news, food, and money. The most common ones. So let's have a look at seeing if we can know which word, which noun is a countable and which is an uncountable. And we'll do it together. So if we have apples, that is countable because we could say 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples, 4 apples. Water is uncountable. We need a measurement. So you could say a bottle of water, 3 bottles of water. Boy, Yeah, 2 boys. You could say there are 3 boys in my room. There are 5 boys in my room. Milk, uncountable. So we put U for uncountable. So yeah, because I have to say I want 1 liter of milk, or I want 5 liters of milk, or 6 liters of milk. So I need a measurement. So remember, these uncountable ones, you need a measurement before them. Measurement. It could be singular, because you could say a bottle of water, or you have to say 2 bottles of water, 3 bottles of water. So you just need a measurement in front of the uncountable. Okay, but the countable ones, you can add a number. I'll just put, number. Do you want 5 apples, 6 apples, 2 apples? That's how I can know what I need to put before the noun. Okay, table. Yeah, 5 tables, 6 tables, 7 tables. Pen. Countable. Bread. Uncountable. So we say a loaf of bread, 2 loaves of bread, 3 loaves of bread. Okay, so when we start to want more than just one, we use loaf, a loaf of bread. Cup. Countable, yep, 3 cups, 4 cups. And remember, in the countable, you add, remember, an S when you want more than one. So only S to the countable. The uncountable, no, you don't add an S, because it's in the measurement where you say, 2 liters of water, 3 liters of water. Computer, countable. Money, uncountable, yeah. Cheese, uncountable. Tooth,
Countable.
yeah, 3 teeth, 4 teeth, yeah. It's just irregular. Remember that when you make it a plural, sometimes the word changes. So tooth is the singular, but in the plural, it would be teeth. So just be careful that, yes, it is countable. Teeth. Its plural is teeth. Okay, some words, they have a different word when you want more than one. So you have 1 tooth, or you have 2 teeth, 3 teeth, 4 teeth. Car.
Countable.
Grass. Uncountable. Person. Countable. Yep. Just remember, again, this is a word that in the plural is person. Okay, so we say person. Sorry, people. 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. Okay, it's still countable. It's just, it has a different word when we want more than one. Okay, so you can say there was a person here today, or there was 5 people here today, or 10 people in my class. Road. Yeah. Countable. Chair. Countable. Bicycle. Countable.
Countable.
Sorry?
Road.
Road. Yeah, there's 2 roads, 3 roads, 4 roads. Yeah, I can count how many roads. Yeah. And in the plural, I put the S. Yeah, countable. You don't need a measurement. It's just a road. Hand. Yeah, we have 2 hands. Flour. Uncountable. We need a measurement. I want a kilo of flour. I want half a kilo of flour. I want 5 kilos of flour. We need a measurement. Information. Uncountable. Butter. Sugar. Uncountable. Tree. Countable. Yeah. So you could say there are 3 trees in front of me, or garden. Countable. Yeah. 2 gardens, 3 gardens. Book. Countable. News. Uncountable. Bus. countable. Wine, uncountable. House, countable. Okay, so very good. You know how to say if a noun, okay, an object is a countable or uncountable. So make sure you understand what these words mean. Countable or uncountable. Countable, I can counter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But uncountable, I need a measurement to talk about the plural. Okay, so we can see in this image here, looks like there's a man here, and it looks like maybe he is ordering something. We can see a woman here, she is serving him. And he says, and 22 kilos of flour, please. So an uncountable noun, 22 kilos of flour. We can see the measurement. The measurement is kilos. Okay, let's talk about singular to plural. So remember, yes, this is very basic. We've done these lessons before, but we're just building more rules to the rules that we already talked about. So singular to plural. To make a singular noun plural, you add an S. Very simple. So brother, brothers, car, cars, house, houses. But just take a note that if the word, the noun, ends in a CH, SH, X, or S, then we add an ES. So for example, match, you know, that you use to make a fire, becomes matches. Box, boxes. And that's its pronunciation. It's a matches, boxes. So it has a z, like a buzzing bee. So if you want to maybe draw a picture of a bee, I can't draw very well, just to remember that's a bee, that this sound is like a z. So boxes, matches, okay, like a bee, z. So like a z, you know, boxes, matches. If it ends in a Y, we add IES. We take off the Y and add IES. So baby, one baby, or two babies, three babies, four babies. Lady becomes ladies. And it's got like a ease. So I would write the sound is like a ease. Okay, it's like a EEZ. Babies, ladies. So very different pronunciation to the Z before. We have a ease. This was a Z. Boxes, matches. But this is ease. Babe ease. So make sure that E is a little bit long. Babe ease. The IE, make it very long, like an EE, and then the S is like a Z. Remember, there are some irregular, which we know men, we say is the plural for man. Women is the plural for woman. Children is the plural for child. People is the plural for person. Teeth for tooth, and feet for foot. So again, remember, we are talking about countable. These are countable. But there's some words that are irregular in the plural. Okay, let's write the plural. So the first one, brothers. We can see we just add an S. Brothers. Sister. Sisters. Match. Matches. Key. Key. This is actually, we did learn that we take off the Y and add ES, but just know that this breaks the rule. So we actually do say YS. Remember, we're meant to take off the Y and add IES, except for this word, okay? So this is like, it has its own rule. So just remember this word, keys, you know, that we use to open the door or something, we don't put the IES. And there's no, it's just, that's just the rule for that word. So you just got to remember it. Camera, cameras, church, churches, teacher, teachers, garden, gardens, sandwich, sandwiches, door, doors, lady, ladies. So now we do take off the Y, add ES, so ladies, gentlemen, men. Actually, yes. Yeah, there were 3 gentlemen. That actually doesn't change. Yes. Yeah. So it's a different word to just saying a man, a men. So it's a different word because it's not just saying someone is a man. He's a gentleman. That means that, you know, he holds himself very well. He's a respected, he's an honest, he's a good man, he's a gentleman. So it's a bit different than just saying a man. And yeah, we say 1 gentleman, we say 3 gentlemen. So the plural is the same word as the singular. Tooth, teeth, restaurant, restaurants, yep. And just remember, this is the British Australian spelling, which is different to the American spelling. So make sure you know to spell this word this way, because the American have a different spelling for this word in the singular and the plural. House, houses. Yeah, we go back up here. Woman, women. Yeah, women, women. Boxes, boxes. Baby, babies. Person, people. Man,
Woman, women, or women.
woman. Woman is the singular. Women is the plural. Women. Child, children.
That one plural of women.
Women. This one, the plural?
Yeah.
Yeah, women. Yep, women. You can see it's got the plural of the man. Can you see? That's the plural of the man, MEM. So women. It's pronounced like that, women, women. Secretary. Secretaries. Student. Students. Bus. Buses. Cinema. Cinemas. Foot. Feet. Boy. Boys. Table. Tables. Window. Windows. Banana. Bananas. Okay, remember these were all countable. We could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, remember these were just your regular countable. We did the singular, where it means we talk about 1, 2, the plural, where we talk about many. Okay, so that's all for this part, where again, let's go back a bit. It was just talking about nouns. We know what they are. We know that we have countable, or maybe we have uncountable. So again, focus just on learning the uncountable ones, because they're very common ones that people confuse all the time. And just remember, start with learning the ingredients first. So butter, ingredients, you know, stuff that you make food with. So butter, cheese, flour, bread. Learn the ones that are for food, ingredients, and then learn the ones that are not for food. So, you know, words like information, news, money, time, the word time. There's many more, but just the very common ones. Start with learning them, and then you'll start to just, you know, all the other ones, you'll just think, if it's not uncountable, then it must be countable. So start with learning these uncountable ones first. I can put a list and give you a list of many uncountable ones, but it's very easy. If you just Google uncountable nouns and then start learning them, very common ones, that's the best thing that you could do. Okay, so now let's go to the next part, where we're talking about the definite article. The definite article is the word the word a or an. If it's remember, if your noun starts with a vowel, that means A-E-I-O-U, then you say an, or it's just a. This is called the indefinite article. So I think I said the definite article. Definite article is the word the, but now we're doing the indefinite article a, or if the word is a vowel, an. So let's look at some of the rules. So we are here at the next part, talking about the indefinite article, which is a. But remember, it's an if it's the word starts with a vowel. So we use it with countable nouns. And it just means one, because you can never just put the noun by itself. So can I have a cup of tea? I've got a daughter and 2 sons. Okay, so we can see our noun here is daughter. We just want to say one. So I've got a daughter. And then this one is just the plural. So when you're talking about one, you have to say a or an. But when you talk about more, then you don't. You just say the number 2, 3, 4, 5. A is not used before the plural noun. We said that before. It's not used before the plural. A is not used before uncountable nouns. Okay, because remember, we have a measurement. In the singular, yes, we say a kilo of. But we don't just say, a petrol. I want a petrol. We say, I want 3 liters of petrol or whatever. Okay, let's practice. We're going to write a or an, or maybe we don't need to. I'd like a sandwich, please. He asked me for, now there's some of them, for the uncountable, you don't put a. You just say the word. He asked me for money. He asked me for something, information. He asked me for, remember those words that are uncountable? Okay, so we're going to go starting with Javiera for number 3. Yeah. So do you want to read it? Yeah. Yeah. So no article. They wanted information about the trains. We know because this is uncountable. 4, deeper.
I like apple and orange, please.
Yes. So remember, I'd push that word. I'd, yes, which comes from I would. I'd like, an apple. We know because we could see it starts with a vowel. A vowel, remember, A, E, I, O, U. So we have to say an. So I'd like an apple and an orange, please. Okay, 5. We'll go to we. Or I'll go to Sarah. For number 5. Yeah, but do you want to read all the sentence? Yes, they've got a very big house. So remember, always read it in the way, if it's contracted, that means it's put together. You have to read it that way. So they've, not they have. That's fine if you're speaking, but because it's written, you must read it the way it's written. So they've got a very big house. Did you want to try 6? So we're putting a or an, or maybe no, number 6. There's no article. Do you like fast cars? Because we know we don't put an article before plural. So it's just, do you like fast cars? You don't need to say, do you like a fast cars? It's just, do you like fast cars? Because it's plural. Only put a when the noun is singular, one. Okay, 7, back to Javiera.
No article.
Yep,
Sure. Russia. Films.
exactly. So no article, we watched films because we've got the plural. We watched films all afternoon. Yes, this is countable, but
Yeah.
because it's in the plural, you don't need to put. We just watched films all afternoon. 8, deeper.
Have you got a umbrella?
An.
An umbrella.
Have you got an umbrella? Because we know it starts with
Oh.
A-E-I-O-U. And make sure it's an. Have you got an umbrella? 9, we'll go to we. Exactly, no. Yes, I asked for bread and cheese. Now, again, if you want, I think we're going to learn this a little later, but I might tell you a trick now. Remember, with these ones, you could say some in the plural. So I asked for some bread and some cheese. But that's, we'll learn this word later in the lesson. So just remember, with the plural, we can say the word some. We don't know how much, we just want some. But yes, we know we don't put an article because these are uncountable nouns. If you do want a specific amount, you have to say it. I asked for 3 loaves of bread and 2 kilos of cheese. Okay, so if you do want something specific, yes, put the measurement. If not, just say I asked for bread and cheese, or I asked for some bread and cheese. 10 have Sarah. Are you drinking milk? Yeah, so no article. It is uncountable. Are you drinking milk? 11, Javiera. I had a glass of water. Yes. It is uncountable. And remember, yes, we've got a measurement. A glass of. This is our measurement for the uncountable if we want one. So I had a glass of water. 12, deeper.
He gave me an orange.
Yes, he gave me an orange. 13, Sarah. Is there a telephone here? Yeah, it's just singular, countable. 14, we.
We had eggs for breakfast.
Yes, plural, we don't put. So we had eggs for breakfast. 15, Javiera.
Coffee and
Yeah, exactly. These are countable. So I like coffee and tea. Okay, good. Very simple. Now we are going to look at the, we looked at the indefinite article. Remember, that was the word a or an. But now we're going to look at the definite article. And that's the word the. So we know that a is used with countable nouns to just mean one. I've got 2 bikes and a car. She's a lawyer. He's a teacher. But we use the when a word is used for the second time. So remember, when you're saying something very general, like, oh, I have a cat. The first time that you mention that word cat, you say, I have a cat, I have a dog. But then when you want to be more specific and you want to say, oh, the cat is always sleeping on my bed. The cat is always tired, or, you know, or if I'm looking at something, I say, oh, look at that cat. And I say, the cat looks very angry. So if I'm specifically talking about, you could see it, you know exactly which one I'm talking about, then you need to use the. That's why it says we use it either for a second time. So after I've talked about it in general, he gave me a knife and a spoon. So I can see here the general, a knife, a spoon, but then I'm going to be very specific and then say the spoon was dirty, because you know which one I'm talking about, because I already told you, I already mentioned sorry, it should be this word. The spoon, I already mentioned it before. So another example, I bought a pen. That should be your article, your indefinite article. I bought a pen and some paper, but I left the pen. Again, I already told you this noun before. So general, we say a pen, and then after I'm more specific, the pen. But I left the pen in the shop. And when only one object exists, so we never say at Earth, because there's not many of them. There's only one of them. There's only one Earth, one sun, one river, one Amazon river, one, there's only one of it. So we say the Earth, the sun, and a name of a place or a river or a mountain. There's only one of it. Okay, so let's practice. Remember, we're going to use maybe the article. So we've got two types of article. We've got the indefinite one, at or an, or maybe the definite one, the, or maybe we don't need to put anything. Let's have a look. So I'll do the first one, the first two. So we have, she's a journalist. So again, general information, talking about someone's job. And the first time I mention the noun, so I say a journalist. The moon moves slowly round the earth. Why? Because there's only one earth, one moon. Okay, Javiera.
The sun.
Yeah, the sun is shining. Deeper.
Like a cup of coffee, please.
Yes, and remember, as you read it, it's I'd like a cup of coffee, please. And we have our measurement. I can see that structure, a measurement of. A cup of coffee is uncountable. Sarah? Yeah, have you got a double room? So it's singular and I'm asking in general. It's the first time I'm talking about the room. So if after I say, oh, the double room is perfect. The double room is what I need. It must be the double room with an air conditioning, whatever. The more I talk about it after, I say the. But the first time, I say a. The first time I talk about this noun. And then all my other sentences after can be the. We.
It gave me lighter,
A lighter.
a lighter, and some
Cigarettes.
cigarette, but the lighter didn't work.
Yes. So really careful with pronunciation because it's a very little word. You have to push it. He gave me a lighter. So we a lighter. We really push that word. And some, we don't know how much. We don't know how much, just some cigarettes, more than one, because I can see we use the word some only with plural, and some cigarettes. And then because we're very specific, we know which lighter, the lighter didn't work. Okay, it's the second time that I've mentioned the lighter, so I need to say the. 7, Sarah? Yeah, again, so first time I mentioned a doctor, a nurse, but now I'm very specific to talk exactly about the nurse, which I said before. Okay, the nurse was sleeping. Javiera for 8. Yeah, she took a sandwich and a piece of cake, but didn't eat the cake. Same rule as before, the cake, because it's the second time we say it. 9?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the first time I'm talking about it, especially when we talk about jobs. We always use article. I'm a teacher. We always use the indefinite article, a. So I'm a teacher. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. 10.
18 in the car. The man was it the
Italian. Yeah, so again, we push these words. A man, because that's the first time I'm talking about it. A man and 2 women were sitting in the car. I think, so always push your voice at the beginning of a sentence. So I think the man was Italian. So we really need to push these words. I think the man was Italian. 11. Yeah. Well done. Now, it's interesting. Yes, it's the first time I mention the noun, but remember, there's only one pope. So that's why even if it's the first time I talk about it, it's always the pope, the sun, the moon, always, even in my first sentence. Okay, good. 12. Ah, yeah, because it's the first time I'm talking about the noun, a cigarette. Yeah. So just in general, he offered me a cigarette, but I refused. Only when I say the cigarette was then given to someone else, or then I talk more about it, then I say but the first time. 13.
Did you send me a postcard when you were in Greece?
Yeah, did you send me a postcard when you were in Greece? Yeah, the first time I mention it. Yeah, a postcard. 14.
They and 6 cats and a dog. Really like the dog.
Yes, so I know this book has a bit of spelling mistake. This should be I. And they had. So again, push your voice with they had 6 cats. Okay, so we could see the plural here. There's a number because it's more than one. They had 6 cats, and when I want to talk about one, and a dog, because it's the first time I'm saying it, I really like the dog because I already said to you before the same object. 15. Yeah, have you got a match, please? Now it's more common we say, have you got a lighter? So again, just to give you very common expressions, no one asks for a match. You know, match is like when so no one really uses that anymore. Now we say, have you got a lighter, please? 16. The letter didn't arrive. Yeah, we know these rules. 17.
Had a cup of tea, ice cream. The tea was terrible.
Yes, so just remember with your pronunciation, and so you really have to, and ice cream. Yeah, so make sure you push that, make it longer. So, and, so it's, I had a cup of tea and an ice cream. So don't go too fast to the next word. And I had an ice cream. And then, yes, the tea, because I already talked about it before, was terrible. And then if I want to talk about the ice cream, and the ice cream was so good. 18.
You name man me.
Mine. Yes. So have you met Sally? She's a friend of mine. Okay, good. So we know, again, it's the first time I'm saying a friend. Because even though I said her name, but you got to look at the noun. It's the first time I'm talking about this noun. She's a friend of mine. Okay, good. So that was our articles. Now we did the and an. But how about when do we know if we don't know article? We don't need to use the. So there's some rules that will tell us when to not use it or maybe when to use the. So at or the is not usually used before names of villages, towns, streets, cities, countries, or continents. So villages, whatever the name of the village is, town, the name of the town, the street, you know, Peary Street, the city, Adelaide, I live in Adelaide, country, I love Australia, continent, Australia is a continent, Africa is a continent. So these types of words, we don't put a or the. Okay, so not. So she lives in Paris. There's no article. Okay, you could see there's no article. This is a preposition and there's no article. We went to India. Again, no article. It's not we went to the India or we went to at India. There's just no article because these are, Paris is a city, India is a country. So the is used before names of seas, river, groups of islands, mountains, kingdoms, republics, deserts, plural names of countries. Okay, so it's words like the Atlantic Ocean, the River Thames, the Netherlands, the Arctic, the Antarctic, the Alps, the United States of America, the United Arab Emirates, the Sahara, the United Kingdom, the Nile, the Gobi Desert. So when you talk about these nouns, if it's a sea, the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, river, you know, islands, mountains, kingdoms, all of this, you must use the. Okay, so this is when we don't use article here. And this is when, yes, we must use the. Okay, so you must use the. So you just have to remember them. So let's practice. Write the names of the places in the two columns, those with the and those without the. So we'll just do each one. So do we say the river sign or river sign? Yeah, the. We need to say the. So for example, one of my favorite rivers is the River Seine. Whatever, any sentence that I want to make, I must put an article before a river. Luxembourg is a city? No. I went to Luxembourg. I want to go to Luxembourg. Doesn't matter what sentence I say. Istanbul? No. It's Pyrenees?
What fire?
I don't know. Is it a mountain? Okay, I don't know. Well, let's go with the. I haven't heard of this. Yeah, the Pyrenees. Yeah. Yes. Okay, thank you. So this is a mountain. So yes, we must put the. And Chile, from where you're from, Javiera, we don't say the Chile. It's a country. Just Chile, you know, I love Chile. I want to go to Chile. I'm from Chile. Any sentence that you make, never put an article in front of a country. Solomon Islands. Yeah, the Solomon Islands. Yep. Remember when it said, have a look at your rules, when it's a group of islands, that's a group. Because you could see it's plurals, islands. So it's just like lots of little islands. They call this lots of little islands the Solomon Islands. Philippines, country, Sweden, no, Oxford Street.
No.
No, I know it's a street and we said no, but just be careful. There are some streets that have the word the, like, which street can I think of in Adelaide?
The Ferry Street,
The
Ferry Street, Paris,
the
Paris.
Paris?
Yeah, this street,
Yes, Peary Street.
Ferry Street.
Yeah, but that's not the. No, no, it's just Peary Street. The there is some streets I know that have the word the, so just be careful. But usually no the before streets. Bombay? No, it's a city. South China
See,
Sea?
yes,
Yeah, it's a sea. Good. Hamburg? No. Country, I think. Algeria? No. Rocky Mountains?
Yeah.
Yes, the Rocky Mountains. St. Lawrence River? Yeah, the. Barcelona? No. People's Republic of Mongolia? Yes, the People's Republic. So anytime you see a country, if it has these words republic or united, or yeah, these are the most common ones, republic or united, then yes, the People's Republic of Mongolia, the United States. So if it has republic or states, and Pacific Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, yes. Good. So we learnt when do we need to put the article the and when not. Okay, we know those rules before. Just takes practice. Okay, how about now? No article or the definite article. So we talked about no article. Then just before we talked about the definite article, which is the word the. But when do we use no article? So he doesn't like going to school. I think she's at home now. I usually get to work at 9:30. Did you go to church on Sundays? She was very tired, so she went to bed early. Did you have the baby in hospital? Their father's in prison. If you have a look at these nouns, school, home, work, church, bed, prison. We don't, and hospital, sorry. We don't ever say the. I mean, it depends because he doesn't like going to school, but I could say, you know, the school he goes to is very good. So this is kind of yes. The home of my parents is very warm. So yes, the work. So only if I start the sentence with the and then these words, then yes, only if I start the sentence. But because it's after a preposition, remember all these prepositions, at, to, in, and in. So you never use an article after prepositions. That's the rule that I would be writing. So no article, sorry, after prepositions. Remember, that's your word to, at, and in, especially these ones. Okay, so no article after, sorry, no article, yeah, after preposition. So before the noun. There is usually no a or the before school, college, university, home, work, church, bed, hospital, prison, town. But remember, like I said, only if you start the sentence, then yes. So we only say at or the before these words when the building is important and not its use. It was a beautiful church. The school, so here's your start of the sentence. The school is very old now. This is not a very comfortable bed. Is there a prison near here? The hospital is closing down. So only if you start the sentence. That's how you can remember it. Okay, words using the. So that was not the. Now we have the. When do we know to put the? We don't very often go to the cinema. Did you go to the disco on Saturday? I go to the supermarkets every Friday. Disco is it's not common anymore. We don't say that. We say now, did you go to the bar or club? Yeah, you don't say disco. You'll sound very funny because it's not, disco was like, not even in my time. It was like 20, 30, 40 years ago when they would go, Oh, you say disco. Yeah, no, we don't in English. No, we go to the bar, we go to the club. We don't go to the disco. You could say, I like disco music, which I like disco music, but not as a place. No. So, the sun, I think. Yeah, it was for me too. So we usually say the before the place we visit in a town. Okay. I went to the cinema on the weekend, the theater, the disco. Remember, we don't say that word. The opera, the post office, the bank. Names of shops, bakers, grocers, supermarket, chemist, butchers, dentist, doctor, hairdressers, toilet. And we say the shopping. I do the shopping on Monday. I do shoppings. I do my shopping on Monday. I do shopping on Monday. Yeah, but not always. You can not put that as well. It's very common to say I do shopping on Monday. But we can sometimes use a before these words. Did you go to the disco on Sunday? There's a new disco in town. I'm going to the bank. Does she work in our bank? Okay, let's practice. Get into practicing. So remember, sometimes we don't need the article, and sometimes we know we have to use the. So I'll do the first two. Is he still in bed? Write the sentences adding the where necessary. So is he still in bed? Is he still in bed? I'm not sure what they did here. Would you like to go to the cinema tonight? Would you like to go to the cinema tonight? So again, would you like to go to? We need an article here. Remember when I said don't use article before prepositions? No article after prepositions. That was these words. So if you have a look at this word, cinema, it's not school, homework, church, hospital, prison. Okay, so just be careful. It's only these words where we don't have article. But here, yes. So would you like to go to the cinema tonight? Now, very common, we say more, would you like to go to the movies? Cinema, movies, the same. This is just another word I'm showing you. 3, we'll start with Javiera. We visit him in prison about once a month. We visit him in the prison. No, I think it comes from the word here, prison. Does it? Yes, so no, we don't need to. So this one, we can just leave it the same. I didn't change anything. In prison. And you said we visited. So just be careful, you read the wrong tense. So it's just, we visit. It's the present simple. Remember the present simple, we're talking about how often we do something or our routine or a fact. So we visit him about once a month. 4.
Can I go home now?
Yeah, the same. Because home, it's one of those words, just like prison, we don't need to put the. Can I go home now? 5.
Bed one a week.
To the bank.
The bed.
Mhm.
The bank.
Yep, we need to put the in front of bank. Because only I usually go to the bank once a week. Remember, before the places that we visit. So especially that verb, I usually go, then immediately need to say, I go to church on Sundays, I go to schools on the weekends, I go to my parents, I go to my bank. So especially when I use this verb, when we go somewhere, yes, we need the. I usually go to the bank once a week. 6. Yeah, we don't change it. Does she like it at university? University is one of those words where we.
Not S likes.
Does she like it? What's-
Like or likes.
No, because it's a question. It's only good that you say that. It's only, this is the present simple. It's only when you make a sentence starting with she and then the verb, yes, you add the S. She likes going to university. She likes drinking coffee. She likes when I start a positive sentence with the subject verb. But this is a question. So in the question, we start with do or does. So we know for the subject she, it's does. And then the verb is just the verb. Does she like? Does she go? Does she buy? Does she read? Does she swim? Okay, we don't put an S. Only when we make a sentence with starting with the subject. Then yes, the verb, we add an S. 7. We, or yeah, we. Yep.
School is the most.
School's
Also,
over.
no. School is the most falling down.
Yes, I don't, the very,
Not the
no, school's almost falling down. It's a very strange sentence. I don't know. No, school is almost falling down. That's a very strange. I don't know what they mean by falling down. That's no one says that. School is almost over. I don't,
very old.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they mean falling down. Like, yeah, like either the building is falling down, but we've yeah, like an earthquake. Yeah, but very strange sentence. I don't know what they mean. So no, if I can think of the closest thing, they're probably trying to say school is almost over. And that means it's almost the holidays. School is almost over. You know, it's going to finish school. We're going to go into holidays. Maybe that's the closest one I can think.
Over, down, over.
No, just over. Yeah, school is almost over. School is almost finished. Another one is you could say school is almost finished. Very strange sentence. No article before, because just like we learnt with the gerund, remember how you can start your sentence with the topic. So because this is our subject, school is almost over. 8. For Sarah. Yeah, whenever we talk about, you know, at a place. So yeah, at the supermarket. 9. Yeah, we don't change anything. Work, we just say work. Remember those words? You just got to remember them. Work, school, college, university, home, church, bed, hospital. We don't put the. We have a picture here. 10.
The hairdress
Yes.
last week, but my hair looked terrible.
Yes, so this is the picture here. You could tell she doesn't look happy. It looks terrible. That means it looks bad. So when we talk about going to a place, we could see went. That's the past simple of the verb go. I went to the hairdresser. We need to say the. If it's I went to the bank yesterday. I went to church. We don't put it for church. There's some words we don't. I went to school yesterday. I went to college yesterday. I went to university yesterday. But hairdresser, we need the. So again, how do you know? Only look at the words that don't need the. And your most common ones were, as I said, school, college, university, home, work, bed, church, hospital, prison. But here we have hairdresser. So yes, I went to the hairdresser last week, but my hair looks terrible. 11.
Bed in this room is too small for me.
The bed. Did you say the? Yeah, we need to say the bed. It's one of those words.
The bed?
Yep, the bed.
After church.
It starts the sentence. Remember, if we start the sentence with the,
Also.
then yes, we have to put bed. Even if I said church, you know, the church is so beautiful.
School,
Yeah, that's one, that's one of the ones that it's just a rule that breaks it. So this one, you don't put the, even I wouldn't say the school is almost over. I would just say school is almost over. So again, some words break the rule, and this is one of them. So school, we never. University, even if you would say university, college, school, any place where you study, you don't start with an article. So just remember, it's only for that word. But we know when we start with the, then yes, the bed in this room is too small for me. Remember to make the be now small because it's not the start of the sentence. So the bed in this room is too small for me. 12. Sarah? Yeah, so we have, again, when we're talking about going to somewhere, we don't put the. So I don't usually go to church. I don't usually go to, remember those words? To
go to the,
school.
not the.
No, because when you're using this verb, you're going somewhere, then no. So we just leave it. The sentence is good. 13? Yes. Yeah. So he goes to the doctors regularly. He always thinks, so just make sure it's like a z. He always thinks he's ill. So it becomes, there's a double z sounding. He always thinks he's ill. 14.
Going to study at college.
Yeah, we don't change it. What are you going to study at college? What are you going to study at university? Now, college is more American. We say university or just uni. You don't have to say university. College, like I said, it's university. I understand it, but it's not common. Like it's not a native speaker wouldn't say college. You know, what are you going to study at university? And it's very common to say uni. 15.
For James, he hates being in the hospital.
No, he hates being in hospital because that's an article. Remember, we sorry, a preposition. We don't need the. And just be careful with your pronunciation. He hates being in hospital. So this sentence was good. We don't change anything because prepositions. Okay, these words, prepositions, you don't need the. Okay. So now we're looking at other words. This one, other words with a, an, the, or no article. So now we're using all our rules. everything together that we have learnt slowly, step by step. So a and an, remember, are the indefinite article, and the is the definite article, and then no article means no a, no an, no the. So no three of them. Okay, so we have the apples are $1 a kilo. So I'm just going to practice by using my dollar sign. So don't worry if it's different. In Australia, we say dollars, we use dollars. So the apples are $1 a kilo, or the apples are $1 a kilo. So this is how it's said. Just write how it's said is $1 a kilo, or you could say the apples are $1 a kilo. So you can put two a. The apples are $1 a kilo. This is the most common. So I should actually make that small. $1 a kilo is more common to say than $1 a kilo. Okay, I never drive more than 80 kilometers an hour. So anytime you talk about how much time do you have? Oh, I have an hour. Or in an hour, I have to be somewhere. So we always use an. She smokes about 20 cigarettes a day. We always say a day. Like, when do you leave? I leave in a day. I only have a day. We say a day. Okay, so an, when talking about the price, the cost, how much something costs. So how much are these apples? They're $1 a kilo. Speed, that was there, and how often we do something. So can you play the guitar? I love listening to the piano. We use the with musical instruments. Okay, we could see it in these sentences, guitar, piano. When we talk about playing them or listening to them. So I'd like to buy a piano. So remember, again, we say a when we speak about something in general, and then after, when you talk about that noun, you can say the. I usually listen to the radio in the mornings. They watch TV most evenings. We use the with listen to. No article with watch. So just be careful. When we're listening to something, we say the. You know, I like listening to the radio. I like listening to the news. But I like watching TV. I like watching news. I like watching sports. Have you got a new television? This is an expensive radio. English isn't too difficult to learn. History is my favorite subject. She plays tennis very well. I usually have toast for breakfast. No article before names of subjects, languages, sports, and meals. So no article, especially you could see the sentence here is using those subjects as the start of the sentence. So English is my first language. Politics is my favorite subject. Religion is my favorite subject, whatever. So especially when you start the sentence, no article. And for sports, you know, swimming is my favorite sports. Empanadas are my favorite, you know, meal, whatever. Okay, let's practice. So remember, we're using a, an, the, or maybe no article. These are all the rules that we have learned in the lessons just before. So all the lessons just before, this is now putting all the rules together for the final and last practice. So she plays, I'm not going to put an article. She plays piano beautifully. 2, starting with Javiera. we usually meet once a week. We're talking about routine and time. So remember, we say a week, a month, a year. You know, when it's talking about how often you do something, that's a routine. I know, especially, you should be able to use everything that we've learnt together in the past lessons. This is a present simple. It's got an adverb. You should be able to see this word, especially adverbs. We use them in the present simple when we talk about our routine, how often we do an action. And this is the main action, is meeting, catching up. Remember, catching up is a very common other word that we say. And I'm saying how often? Once a week, once a month, once a fortnight, every Sunday. But I just want to be practicing the So this is what changes: once a week, once a month, once a year, once a decade, whatever. 3.
Enjoy studying languages, but I find
No, remember, for subjects of languages, we don't put article. But I find
Fine.
English quite difficult. But I find Latin.
quite difficult.
Yeah.
No articles.
No, because it's a subject, an academic subject. Even if you said, but I find history quite difficult, but I find maths very hard. It's a subject, no article. 4.
I don't this the show the radio when I get up.
Yes, I always listen to the radio, especially when we talk about listening. Remember, it's that verb. I always listen to the news. I always listen to music. Actually, except to music, I didn't say the. So the radio, I always listen to, actually, I think it's this word. Yeah, when we listen to the radio. Oh, yeah, I always listen to the news. 5. Can your daughter play the violin? Yeah. So instruments, what did we learn about instruments? Yes, you have to put the. Can your daughter play the piano? Can your daughter play the saxophone? Can your daughter play the guitar? 6.
I can cycle 15 miles an hour.
Yes. So even though I forgot to mention before that this word does not start with an A-E-I-O-U, it's a silent H, because hour, it's not hour, it's hour. So because it's a silent H, it does have to have an hour. And just be careful, miles is an American way. We say kilometers in Australia. So I can cycle, 5 kilometers an hour or whatever this would be equivalent to. So we don't really say miles in Australia. In Australia, we say kilometers. That's American. And again, if you said that to someone, miles, they're going to say, oh, how much is that in kilometers? Like you're going to confuse them. They're not going to know how much that is. So you might as well not say miles when you're talking about driving or riding or any type of distance. We don't say miles, we say kilometers. So just make sure as well, write the word, it gets more confusing English, in the Australian spelling, because Americans make it R-E. So make sure it's kilometers, E-R. 7.
You enjoy learning Spanish?
Yes, it's a language. Remember, a subject. So yeah, do you enjoy learning Spanish? 8. Yeah, I take the children swimming twice a week. 9. Yeah, there's no Yeah, especially with watch. We learned that when we watch television, immediately those words go together. I love watching TV. I love watching television. She's watching too much television. So immediately watch television. There's no article before that. 10.
Did you study physics at school?
Yeah, it's a subject. Did you study physics at school? 11. And make it a dollar sign just to practice.
Rent cost 100 a week.
Yes, and it's more common. We say 100 a week. So we don't really say one here. We say a.
Uh,
So
100 a week?
yeah, 100 a week. So this flat, another common word we know is apartment. But we say flat as well. That's fine. This flat, it's more common apartment. More common, but like I said, this is okay. We do say that word too. So this apartment costs 100 a week. And we kind of pause here with our sound. 100 a week. So we kind of separate those sounds. 200 a week. 500 a week. So that's how you should sound. 12. The saxophone. Here we do need to say the. Why? Because it's this verb, listening. It's not just saying my daughter plays this, sorry, even if you said plays, you have to say listening. It's listening to the radio, listening to an instrument, to type of music. So I love listening to the saxophone, to the piano, to the guitar. 13.
For me, the
Via, yeah.
R-A-P.
Yes, we don't use pence. That's British. So it's probably dollar. No, it can't be $80 a bag. 80 cents. 80 cents a bag would be what we would say in Australia. Pence. 80 cents. Yeah. Okay. Potatoes. The potatoes are 80 cents a bag. And we know we have a measurement, our bag, our kilo, our loaf. Okay, so always remember your measurements that way. 14.
Can you speak Russian?
Yeah. So subject, language. 15.
I really enjoy playing football at the weekends.
Yes, remember we do not say at. It is very, very wrong in Australia. Never do we say that. We say on the weekends. This is British. They say, so just because, yes, we do speak British English, but we don't use all their rules. We say on the weekends, which is probably more American, I think. We take a bit from American and a bit more from British, but we do say on the week. We never say at the weekend. You will sound very, very strange. So yeah, I really enjoy playing football on the weekend, on the weekends. Okay, sounds like a routine. I can see it's present simple and it's a routine saying when, on the weekends, on the weekends. You always have to say on the weekends. Okay, let's look at a summary. This will be the last part. So a summary just means just recap all the rules that we have learnt with a bit of practice and some, yeah, practice. So summary. We have a and an with a singular noun. Remember, this is for countable when you're just talking about one. So we are talking about one thing, but it is not the only thing. There is more than one of them. So, you know, an apple, a laptop, a phone, a bag, indefinite article. Okay, so make sure you just know the names of the grammar. Indefinite article. And we have a definite article, which is the. And we use this with singular nouns. There is only one that we are talking about. Okay, so the laptop. The speaker and listener know which one. So it's like I'm not just talking about something in general, but like very specific, like this laptop. The laptop is really good. You know, the laptop has this much storage. The laptop, so you know exactly I'm talking about this one. Okay, let's practice with a, an, the, or maybe no article. So it looks like it's a conversation. Let's have, you can read just up to each sentence. So where there's a full stop, you stop, and then the next person will read. So I'll do the first two. It's a beautiful day today. Okay, remember, it's just in general. It's like, I know I'm talking about today, but it's just the first time that I talk about the noun, I say, it's a beautiful day today. I'd like to go to the beach. And Javiera. Crowded. Yep. So yes, this is the first time I said the beach. I know that, but I'm specific. Like, I'm not just saying like the beach. Even if I'm not specific on which one, it's still very specific. I want to go to the beach. I want to go to the markets. I want to go to the to church. Sorry, church doesn't have the, but just remember it is kind of specific. The beach. Okay, it doesn't matter which one. It's all along the coast. I'd like to go to the beach. And then you said yes, but the beach is always crowded. Crowded means there's a lot of people there. It's crowded. And continuing with Deepa. Yes. Yep.
I would like to stay at home
Mm.
and sit in the garden.
Yes, and sit in the garden. Good. It's not just a garden, because that would mean like anyone's garden. Like just, this is very specific. I'd like to stay. You showed the location. I'd like to stay at
Number
home.
4, no, nothing.
No.
No.
So I'd like to stay at home, because that was one of the nouns where we don't need to say at or in, sorry, at or an or the. So yes, I'd like to stay at home and sit in the garden. I'm very specific, not just your garden or your garden, like my home, at my home, in the garden of my home. You know exactly which one I'm talking about. Okay.
We can have lunch in the
Yes, good. So lunch, we don't need to say. So we can have lunch in the garden. But we stayed at home. Yep, so there's no article here. So, but we stayed. So we kind of, yes, stayed. But we stayed at home. I don't know, I think this is all day. That's a spelling, that's meant to be all. But we stayed at home all day yesterday.
That one, but we stay at
Home. Yep, there's no article. All
day.
Yeah. There's just a bit of spelling mistake in the book. But we stayed at home all day yesterday.
I would like to go out.
I'd like to go out.
I'm going back to the.
No, I'm going back to work. This was one of the words, home and work, especially these two words. If you remember, if they're in the middle of your sentence, you don't say the. Only if you start the sentence with the home, but then you have to say of who. The home of my parents is nearby, or, you know, the work that I go to is so far. So only if I start the sentence with the, but it's in the middle, especially these two words. I love staying at home. I like to work at home. So if these words are in the middle of a sentence, then no article.
Tomorrow and this
It's very specific. This is the last day of my holiday. I know which day. I'm talking about like this day it's not just a general day, like today. This is the last day of my holiday. Mhm.
Is good. Yes. Yeah. Like cinema. A cinema? Or we go to there.
Okay, let's go back. So the first one was actually a. So there's a good film because it's the first time that I'm mentioning this noun. So that's the noun film. Good is an adjective. It's the first time I'm talking about it. So there's a good film on at when we talk about like places, going somewhere or at, especially with this preposition, we always say at the cinema. So there's a good film at the cinema, or we could go to the theater. Now remember, in today it's not very common. Like I never say to my friends, let's go to the theater. It's not very common. It's more common to go to the movies, to go to dinner, to go to the beach, to go to the markets, to go to the hills. It's not very common to say theater. So just remember that. So yeah, but we do need to say the theater. Okay, then we'll go to Sarah for number, well, okay, where it says okay. We already said theater before. So the next time I need to say the theater because I'm now more specific. Okay, but the theater's too expensive. It's about, we'll go now to Javiera.
It's about
Dollars. Yes. So because it's not $1, it's more than $1. So you just say it's about $15 a seat. So per seat, like your ticket, it's about $15 a ticket. Again,
that's cool.
yeah, that's true.
We will go to the cinema.
We'll go to
The cinema.
then.
Then stay here. Watch the television.
No, remember, watch television. These two words always together. We don't put any article. And yes, it was the, because I thought this was yours. Yes, with the book. It's okay. Do you have a charger?
I think that's chargers.
No, this one's for that one. I just brought it back today. Is it here? Is it this one? Is that it?
Yes, sorry. Sorry. I dropped my mouse.
No, that's okay.
Sorry.
No, that's it.
Thank you.
You're starting early? Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, okay, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so yes, it's about $15 a seat. That's true. We'll go to the cinema because again, we know exactly the second time and third time and fourth time, you can always repeat the. Even if it's the same noun. It's only the first time where we say a. So yeah, we'll go to the cinema then, or we could stay and watch television. Watch television, you don't put an article.
Oh no, that's boring. I want to go to the cinema.
Yes. So again, like I said, you can keep saying that. So, oh no, that's boring. I want to go. So be careful with these little short words. You've got to not read them too fast. So I want to go to the cinema. So that's how it sounds like. I want to go to the cinema. Now, even if I said it fast, I'm still very clear with these little short words. So I want to go to the cinema. I want to go to the cinema. Mhm. Sarah, and this afternoon? No, to town. So you can stay here, but I think I'll go to town. I heard you rub it off. So again, town is it's okay. We say more city is more common. With CBD, we don't say CBD. You sound like you're a traveler, like just city. You can stay here, but I think I'll go to now. If we do say city, I think I'll go to the city. Yes. So it's up to you. It is more common to say the city, but you have to then say the city. But if you say town, then there's no article. So I'm just showing you that I think it's better to learn what's more common as a native speaker. But just remember, you have to say the city. So I think I'll go to the city.
Can you do the shopping when you are in town?
Yeah, remember, it's more common. We don't
Do
put
shopping.
an article, even though we did learn it said the.
Do shopping.
No, yeah, can you do shopping? Oh, sorry, is that what you said? Yeah, can you do shopping when you're in town? A very strange question. Can you do shopping when you're in town? It's more common if you said, like, are you gonna do some shopping? You can stay here, but I think I'll go to the city. Can you do shopping when you're in town? That's a question. Then it didn't really say yes or no. So it's more common. Maybe this was more like, are you going to do shopping? Like, okay. Are you going to do shopping when you're in town? And then really this is more common for someone to say, oh, all right. No, they'll just say, yeah. Yeah. Or maybe they're asking like, can you buy some things? Okay, so maybe they're saying, okay, I can delete that. Yeah, they're saying, can you do shopping when you're in town? And oh, all right, yeah. Then yeah, it's more common to just add that. Yeah. Like, can you do shopping while you're there? Okay, so again, when to use the article, when not to use it, when to use a, and, the. Let's do these last sentences to finish the lesson. So now, maybe we're going to add, maybe we're going to remove, or maybe change the article in these sentences to make them correct. So some of them maybe have a mistake, maybe no. Maybe you need to add, remove, change. Okay, so just remember, add, remove, or change. So let's start with Javiera, 1. You need to take off. Our first lesson after lunch is geography. Really, this should be a capital because it's it's a subject. So our first lesson after lunch, after breakfast, after dinner. Okay, these words, especially when we say this word here, after lunch, I'll see you after lunch, I'll see you after dinner, I'll see you after class. Yeah, and then we know subject, we know no article. 2.
I first played basketball.
Baseball. I first played
basketball in USA last.
baseball. It's a different,
baseball.
yeah. So no article. So I first played baseball. Remember when we talk about instruments or sports, I first played soccer. I first played tennis when I was a child. I first played baseball in USA. Yes. So again, we write it, even when we do write it, if you were to write this, I would still write in the USA last summer. Because why? It's a country, but we know we don't use article for country only if they have the word states, republic, or Yeah. So this one, we need to say the USA. Or you could say, you know, it's more common, people say the States,
United.
the United States, the States. So I first played baseball in the States last summer, or in the USA last summer, or in the United States of America, but it's just too long. Just the States, more common. Even that's how Americans would speak. Number 3. It's a country. Sorry, it's a city.
Yeah, the city. So Rome is my favorite city.
Yes. So we don't need the
No, no,
article.
no.
Rome is my favorite city
Just
in Italy. Yep,
Favorite
just
city.
Rome. And remember, have a look here, the spelling of this word. Make sure, I always see everybody write this wrong. Use the British Australian spelling, not the American. The American would be like this. We do not want to write this word because if you're in Australia, you want to write the way that Australians write. You don't want to write the way, if you're in America, write this way. But you're in Australia, we want to use the proper British Australian spelling. So it's O-U-R, not O-R. Same word, different spelling. So we want to write this one. So Rome is my favorite city in Italy. 4. Yeah, so when I leave university, I want to be a journalist. Yes, because it is a job and it's the first time I say it. I want to be a journalist. Now, after I can say I'm going to be the most famous journalist in the world. I'm going to be the best journalist. So I can keep saying the after, but the first time I must say a. 5. What time? Yes, we need to put the. What time does the bank open on Fridays? Okay, it's asking about a routine. That's why we put an S to the Friday. It just doesn't just mean this Friday. It means Fridays in general, every Friday. So what time does the bank open on Fridays? And the last one. Yes, words like home and work. I often work at home. We don't put the before that. Okay, so good. Just repeating what we just did. It was pretty much a summary. And just really knowing your articles, if it's a or an. Remember, these were your indefinite. I'll just write it like that. And the was your definite article, and then no article. No a, no an, no the. Okay, so really know those rules. You've got really good rules here. That's what we did until next lesson, where we're going to start looking at words like a, some, any, something, anything, someone, anyone, somebody, anybody. And then we're going to look more practicing those words with our nouns. Okay.